Hello everyone guys. You are as usual on the channel with Rincod. It's Lizanichik and Vitalik with you. And today we have a new episode. Do you know what that means? This means that today we are going on a cruise. An incredible cruise. Have you missed cruising? A cruise in Egypt, friends. I hope both you and we will enjoy this cruise. So friends, right now we've poured some tea and grabbed some snacks. Our exciting cruise is starting. Let's go.
Madam, you.
Liar. Our cruise liner. Look at how handsome it is. Just brand new, so juicy, so powerful. Now let's go in order, because we still need to get to the cruise liner from our hotel in Hurghada. We have been on the road for about an hour and a half. In general, we are traveling on one of those big buses. We have a stop for food now because we left the hotel at 3 a.m. And all of this costs 500 rubles. This is tea, this is cappuccino, and this is a croissant, 500 rubles.
Croissant 5th century BC.
I immediately understood what he was offering. Bro, thanks. We left all the money over there for coffee. Yes, this is how much chocolate I deserve for 500 rubles. I keep biting, thinking, where's the chocolate? But there isn't any.
Written a flaky and delicious croissant filled with chocolate.
This is a famous Egyptian chocolate croissant. Moments like this should be savored. How deliciously chocolatey. Great job. Luckily, our viewers recognized us there and gave me some candy. Nice it is to have subscribers. The guys from Moldova, they are great. Sit down and they bring you juice, pour it for you. I'm completely shocked. For Moldova, that's it.
So we got on the bus. People from the back row are coming in. Well, they are from Moldova, you see. They are very well prepared for the excursion to Luxor. So remember the set. You don't need to go to Luxor from this set. The excursion won't work.
You know what's the most interesting part? They say, in short, here you go, we're launching the auto stream, they say.
We are cutting off the autopilot.
Let's travel through the desert. Look at the beauty. In general, it's scorched earth. It will probably take another 2 hours to get there. In short, we have arrived, friends, already in Luxor. This is the bus we took to get here. All the guys from the country are going on a one-day excursion around Luxor. This bus was a minibus. They dropped us. Mikhail Sergeyevich and Bananechka are with us. We will transfer to another vehicle, and our 3-day cruise trip begins. Those who take the cruise are welcomed in a car like this. Beautiful. Let's load up.
Welcome to the Karnak Temple, the largest temple in the world. We are greeted by an avenue of rams and sphinxes. This is the temple of the god Amon-Ra. Don't be surprised by the number of rams. The thing is, the ram is one of the incarnations of the god Amon, to whom the Karnak Temple is dedicated.
You might ask, what's going on? Where's the cruise? We set off on a cruise. The thing is, this is the first part of the program. Naturally, we made it here. And the first day is exactly in Luxor. Later in the evening, we will board our cruise ship. We will spend the night there, and tomorrow morning, our cruise journey will begin. Before starting an interesting story, I will complain in this temple. I lost my glasses, which can be said are already 2 years old.
Each pharaoh had a birth name and a coronation name. The birth name, the son of the god Ra, and the coronation name when he was crowned, they began to call him differently. For example, Ramses. His full name was Ra Mis Meri Imen. What was he called otherwise? Veser Mayat Ra Siti Bir Ra. Repeat.
In short, you understand now, right, why I am not filming this episode. Because it will be a 7-hour episode, you understand. Come yourself, watch, they tell very interesting stories. An endless immersion into the history of ancient Egypt.
This is our guide, his name is Hamed, and we have just entered the temple. We won't interrupt, we will listen to our guide, but I will briefly tell you what we have learned. The Karnak Temple is the largest temple complex of ancient Egypt. It consists of structures that resemble more of a separate city than a temple. For 1,500 years, pharaohs built temples here, and the largest temple in the complex is dedicated to the god Amun. It is the second most popular site in Egypt after the pyramids. The construction of the Karnak Temple began around the 20th century BC, and each pharaoh thereafter contributed to the completion of parts of the temple in one way or another. In total, the construction of the complex took 13 centuries.
So here we had just a hall for everyone, but this is already a columned hall which anyone could not enter. Only people from the upper echelons of society, pharaohs and close associates.
They gave such a little sheep. Here you can write your name in Egyptian. You can check the meaning of your letters and write in the comments what kind of person you are. Vitalik, for example, is charming, balanced, and loves to eat.
The hypostyle hall is truly breathtaking. The enormous number of columns, they are gigantic. These drawings and patterns have been preserved everywhere. It can be said that not so long ago, all of this was buried under a huge layer of sand. It was excavated, and when it was under the sand, local residents lived here and no one needed it. But then, when it became popular, the government took everything under its wing, evicted everyone from here, and now, please, it is a museum, probably the largest open-air temple museum.
Once there was a roof over the columns, but after the earthquake, in 27 BC, the roof collapsed. The central 12 columns are 23 meters tall, while the others are slightly shorter. The 134 enormous pillars impress with their scale and slight grandeur. At the entrance to the temple in ancient Egypt, obelisks were erected. This is a monument that tapers towards the top and has survived to this day.
Just imagine, 1,500 years before our era, 330 tons, no technology. This is a solid stone. How did they do it? No idea.
The pink granite that they brought from Aswan is 280 kilometers south of here.
Do you know how they brought it?
Well, no one knows so far in the backpack.
In the backpack, yes. Guys, a solid stone. I'm in shock. Now the most important part, friends. We are boarding our cruise liner. Look at this beauty. It's brand new, so juicy and powerful, and we will be sailing the waters of Reginio for 3 days. Welcome to the reception, so we can check in. Keys, tickets. Ah, here they are. Let's call someone over. Hello, hello, hello. It seems no one is here, Papson. Just kidding. No. A joke. What kind of joke? All right, we just need to go through all the ships, and the last ship will be our cruise one. Now that's a different conversation, and this I already understand. Cool, listen, a mini cruise liner. Thank you. This is our reception area, a kind of hall here. Our cabins will be somewhere over there. I really like it. A pleasant atmosphere, soft sofas and armchairs. It's really cool overall. I hope you can hear the music now, friends. Titanic, you know, they found something to include. Well, actually, what jokes? The design inside is actually like that of the Titanic. Look how luxurious it is. Such a classic. And the most surprising thing is that there is even an elevator here. Honestly, I thought it would be something similar when we took a cruise along the rivers of Russia. Remember? I thought it would be the same, but it's much cooler here. The atmosphere is somehow richer. All right, let's go check in using the elevator. We enter the elevator. To the second deck, right? Wow. Shaban Fatih. Fafit. Right. Shaban Fatih. They eat very slowly. Apparently, we have eaten too much on the hike. We are walking. Here. Welcome to the cruise. As I believe, I understand it. Our lunches will be somewhere around here. Mom dear, what beauty. I am filled with anticipation. I am filled with anticipation. The cruise is starting. Well, let's go check in. So here's the card, and here's our cabin, 402. Let's open the door. Welcome. Look at her, right? Elizabeth is already settled in. In general, I'll give a quick overview. Friends, watch. Workplace. This is where we will edit the videos, I suppose. There is tea, and you can make yourself some coffee. Boil, brew. Here is the wardrobe. Hang up the things, arrange them. Sofa, television, another little chair. Such a soft bed. Let's see. I can't even believe it, guys, that the cruise is starting. You understand, a cruise in Egypt. The softness is good. Good softness. In terms of the fact that your back won't hurt, do you know why? Look, such a firm, hard little bed, just right for my back. Take a look at the ceiling. Just like that. Very beautiful. We also have a view of the river. Unfortunately, there are no balconies here, but that's okay. We have to sacrifice something, friends, because this is not a cruise liner. It's just a little riverboat. And here, right behind this door, is just the shower room. Here's the shower. I hope it's hot. I haven't checked yet. In general, the toilet, everything is as it should be. A small sink, a hairdryer, and this mirror. That's it. We are ready for the cruise. I can't believe this is happening to me. A cruise in Egypt. It's time for lunch. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go into the restaurant. To give you an idea, our riverboat is currently docked on the shore. We will only set off on the cruise tomorrow. So today we are exploring Luxor, relaxing and sleeping. Tomorrow we will wake up here, visit the temples, and then we will depart. This is our spot. Actually, the restaurant has a buffet. You walk around, choose what you want, and you serve yourself. You serve yourself the salad. Hello, hello, hello. Here are two different types of soup. I will show you the soup now. You see, I am pouring it myself. Good morning. This is how we take it. So next we have rice. Here we have delicious stewed beef with potatoes. You can also order pasta here. The pasta is boiled and then he fries it. You can saute it with tomatoes there, along with sauces. Next we have steamed vegetables, which are also something vegetarian. Tomato paste with something sauce. Here is delicious chicken. Here are various potatoes and battered fish. And here are the desserts, various cakes, and you can take bananas.
How I love the cruise atmosphere. Who would know this feeling? Even though we are not going anywhere today. I mean, today we are just using this ship as a hotel. It's just so great to be here. I asked for myself, look at these little pasta, just regular ones with cheese. Because I miss regular food so much, I just really want it to be simple and delicious.
And we are still hungry because we got up at 3 a.m. today, right? And just now, we are eating. We didn't even have a proper breakfast. In short, I have already tried the soup. It's very poorly cooked here. We're in a restaurant. For my main course, I got some meat, both beef and chicken. I've already tried everything. Guys, my check, please. I sincerely apologize, guys. You know, when you stand on excursions at 3 in the morning, spending the whole day on the road, we just won, and the exhaustion hit us hard. It's just insane. The cruise has just started. I'm completely shocked. It's that kind of overwhelming excitement. You just lie there completely out of energy, just sinking. I got stuck in the pillow. It's the first time during our stay in Egypt that I feel completely drained. I just can't get up at all. Basically, while we were napping there for an hour, everything was fine. A whole crowd just arrived. It looks like our ship will be completely filled with tourists. And we are heading out now because we arranged to take a carriage with a horse at 5 o'clock and go for a ride. Here is our little horse. The carriage is Mustafa. Let's go for a ride around the city. We'll take a look at the beautiful and vibrant evening Luxor before sunset. Here we go. Whoa, with a breeze. I think this is the best program. You just sit there because we were already on the deck. You just sit down like this and that's it. You get to see the beautiful views. So, in short, we got into the wrong carriage. Can you imagine the scammers? We asked, is this reserved? He said, yes, this is the one that was reserved. It turns out the one that was reserved is right here, right here. That's it. We didn't argue. We just had a disagreement. We got into the wrong carriage, just like that. But he himself tried to be weak, saying something like, this is yours. Like, this carriage is yours. But we had booked another one. You, Kamachko. Back to reality, once again.
Online probably opens up the ears there in a way that really, truly, and deeply...
I didn't spend it, man. We say, is this booked? Is it paid for you? He says yes, because we paid in advance and made a reservation.
And he says yes.
And in end, it would have been double the price. It's good that we have our guide's phone number. We wrote to him that this is not for you. In the end, everyone fell out with each other. And now we have this driver. What do you think of this option, guys? I think it's fabulous. With this, we'll see the whole city. Well, now we've spoiled our evening. We took a carriage to watch the sunset, but they are already sorting all of this out there. Our people are dealing with that. In short, it's such a mess overall. You just check everything, trust no one.
Even if he says that he knows your guide, everything has been paid for, and you don't need to pay anything. Just here, we have already mentioned that they are scamming in a friendly way. Yes, roughly speaking, because they want to make money. But you see, there is some serious problem as we ended up in the wrong place. It's been 20 minutes, and we are still sitting in the bus. They have left, and they are shouting over there. Now they are going to beat up our guide. This is crazy.
Yes, I mean, we've already been sitting here for 20 minutes and time is passing. We have a race going on here, guys are racing with us. It's not that simple here. We're going to the tourist police. They will sort things out, and then we'll go from there. Wow, I didn't know it would get so serious and go this far.
Subtitles created by Dima Torzak. It will be very bad to lie down to the snow.
Such in general.
The angriest Egyptian in Egypt that we encountered. He tried to deceive us.
You completely ruined our evening. Yes, he did. Wine you live you and you LARPo my iPhone. And YouTube.
Ourselves, but simply alone.
He tried to deceive. And now it's like he's pretending as if he's the guy we agreed upon beforehand, as if he took a client from him. But in reality, he was trying to deceive us, everyone. The third one is running. It's a pretty lively scene. This is content coming in. Everyone is going, all of them, to settle things. I woke up right away. There's a cat in the pot, just chilling. Oh, such energy. It's like I've had 3 shots of this Starbucks, right? This is a very popular sign. Here is such a golden key. So, life forever, longevity, health, everything in this vein. But overall, Luxor is a very pleasant little town. Clean, the roads are all cleared, and there is minimal dirt. It's really very pleasant to be here. We're driving like this, you see. Everything is very neat. I like it. Papson, you look like a princess. Papson, you are like so princess. Josephine. Ha 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 ha. All right, guys, let's gather around. I need to give a compliment. Upson, you look like a princess. Point.
That's it, you absolutely look like a princess.
Upson, you look absolutely like a princess with Jasmine. It worked out.
We are currently in the city center. We are passing through the city center. On our left side is the Nile River. On this side, we have historical buildings. Here, people are also riding in carriages. Now we are passing by a very popular place in the city. It is currently a hotel. It is called the Winter Palace. This hotel used to belong to a well-known politician. You can stay here now.
Famous politician, well known or not.
The second most visited place in Luxor is, of course, the Luxor Temple. The first is the Karnak Temple. It is a must visit if you are in Luxor. I think you definitely won't miss it. And the second is the Luxor Temple. It is also a huge temple with a columned hall, a very beautiful place. Look how stunning it looks in the rays of the sunset. Amazing. It is located right across from the waterfront, the Nile in all its glory. What a sunset, beautiful, as it sets. The atmosphere is upscale, and as Vitalik rightly noted, it is indeed very clean in Luxor. A beautiful long promenade has been created.
Let's move on. The waterfront is truly magnificent. Look how clean and well-maintained it is. Everything is tiled there. It's beautiful.
The city is indeed clean. It's a really clean city. As our guide said, the population here is smaller. It turns out that the houses belong to the seniors who take care of things like children's activities and so on. They clean their own houses and the area around them.
We agreed with our guide. He stays here with the carriage while we went to the market, the main market in Luxor.
My favorite content, I'm in touch, third party, and now after the unlocking, I move from the other side.
We agreed with our guide. He stays here at the carriage while we went to the market, the main market in Luxor. My favorite content. Stay tuned. Dad, let's go. Our guide is great. Guys, by the way, very important information. When you take a cruise, each of you will have a group, and this group will have a guide.
Yes, either Russian speaking or English speaking.
But today we decided, by the way, to ride with a guide, right? And for all the other days, we won't have a guide. But that doesn't mean that if you go, you won't have a guide. We just declined because we wanted to explore on our own without depending on anyone. So if you need a guide, you will have a guide in all temples on the cruise to guide you. There are a lot of little shops like this in the market. So much is sold here, and all the various goods are covered in dust, guys. So you can take some kind of curiosity as a gift from here and place it on a shelf at home for beauty and as a keepsake.
Friends, I found what I was looking for, the key of life. It's marble and very heavy. Let's ask how much it costs. 600 local.
Is this club just white?
Sorry, it's just a calabash, really. I don't have any money. He gives me money. Okay, give her money. If you give her money, fine. If you don't, I'll keep her. I like her. What? Will you give? No. Will you give? Give 100? You'll only get 100? Where to? Shall we go together?
Take it on 100.
100. 100. Well, this is the kind of t-shirt.
For 100 local. Oh, black gypsum.
I will probably take another white one for myself.
Here it will be applied already. The shelf, friends, agreed. For 100 local. Nikita say, I will probably take a white one too. It will be applied.
I'm sorry. I don't... Right now, everyone, let's go.
I can...
Just leave, but that might be a problem. Because I have enough experience. I came to you to say sorry. Because you do not understand my experience.
I came to say sincere and heartfelt apologies.
This is very good.
Yes, that's good. It's very nice. Thank you very much. Friends, let me tell you, a man just came over to apologize and gave me this little gift. Because when we were taking photos with his son, he touched my butt. I yelled at them and ran away through the whole market. He was currently being informed that it shouldn't be done that way, as people could call the police, especially the Russians. And what's the deal here when you live to take photos? Especially for girls. Girls, be careful if there is no man with you. They are people, you know, like they hug, and then suddenly a hand sneaks up, you know, like how we ride in the subway.
I mean, even if there are men, they still act like, oops, it just happened.
Yes, we have such guys in the metro on the way home. Someone has encountered them, underwear or paws. The same thing definitely happens here. There is a demand for a beautiful girl. And he came up and said, my son is inexperienced, young, and doesn't understand what should not be done. He invited us for tea. He said, let's do it tomorrow if you took the makia. He works with tourists in Sharm el-Sheikh and asked us to watch things. He also gave me a ring and brought his apologies.
That is, for my slightly concerned bag.
You can't do that, right? I told him that, damn, the Russians will just steal the first meetings right away. It's just that Vitalik is like that and they will treat you very poorly.
By the way, you see the bus is standing there. That is the very bus we took to Cairo. You see they are in Cairo, in Alexandria, so you don't even have to plan your own trips. You can come to this city, for example, for 3 days without mixing it up.
Friends, how did our story end? With us getting into the wrong carriage. We are to blame as well as the one who deceived us with that carriage, meaning we got into the wrong one. As a result, after our walk, we went to the police and spent about an hour there writing a statement. But we noted that we had no proof. They took the guy away. Can you imagine the other driver? They took him and held him there for 2 hours while we were riding. And he will sit for 3 hours? A form of punishment. So the police are doing their job well. The only thing we spent was, of course, our time. We were just writing a whole report. Naturally, we didn't film anything there because it was the police, you understand. But know that this can happen. Always check everything. They love to deceive. And you see, we once again got caught as if we were at home. It's just unpleasant. How did this even happen? It's so easy for them to just fool us, guys. The cruise hasn't even started yet, and we're already caught up in adventures. Finally, we're heading back home, and it's time for dinner. We bought some water because drinks are not included. Only 2 free bottles of water are available, and breakfast includes tea, coffee, and water. We got some water, 10 bottles. The price is Egyptian, and it's against the cruise ship. The price is 4 times higher. That's it. We're heading to dinner.
Regarding the liner, she certainly got a bit carried away because this is not a liner, but it's nice to come back here. It feels like coming home.
They are calling for dinner here.
Oh, for dinner? Dinner? Well, super tasty. Fire, fire, very delicious.
Especially when I sat in the police for an hour, the beef comes in, hooray.
I don't know about others, but for me, a sign of a great buffet is the presence of beetroot, because it's not available everywhere.
Good morning, guys. This is wonderful. Awesome. Here's to the start of this beautiful day.
That's it. We are going ashore. We were given these cards. They are not personalized, just cards, but they will allow us to return on board today. It's 14:30, which means we have time for cultural exploration of Luxor. Once again, we are fully immersing ourselves in the atmosphere of this city. We have rented a car for the whole day today, like a taxi. This is our driver. His name is Ahmed.
Something is coming. Let's go.
Such a large, comfortable car. Such a large, comfortable car. The city of Luxor is on both banks of the Nile. Yesterday, we studied the eastern part. It is also called the City of the Living. And now we are on the western side. We crossed a special bridge that connects these two sides. The western side is the City of the Dead. At the entrance, we are greeted by the Colossi of Memnon. These are massive stone statues of Pharaoh Amenhotep III. Each one weighs nearly 1,000 tons and was brought from a distant quarry near Cairo. The Colossi stood in front of a huge temple, which unfortunately has not survived to this day.
The next place is the Valley of the Kings, a famous and extremely popular site in these parts. Naturally, it starts through Ovenok, where everyone is approaching them. So, we are already speeding through the Valley of the Kings. We have such a unique train composition. The entrance fee is 240 local currency. There are 63 tombs of the pharaoh here. That is, there are a huge number of them buried here, and only 8 are accessible for visiting. This ticket only includes 3 out of 8 tombs. The main point is, I can't be here without them, and I haven't bought a new pair yet. From the 16th to the 11th century BC, pharaohs were not buried in the pyramids that we have seen in previous episodes, but in tombs. And here it is, the Valley of the Kings, where they are all buried in these tombs. 1 tomb, 2 tombs, there's a third, Ramses the First, second, third, fourth, fifth, 10th. And you walk through this valley, for example, there's 1 tomb, you go in, take a look, then you go into another one, take a look. The tomb of Ramses IX.
Rock paintings have been beautifully preserved in color. The rooms are very enormous, of course. Look, you just walk down the long corridor, and on the right and left, hieroglyphs extend into the distance. And finally, only at the end is the tomb. Vasyajan is very upset that he is not allowed to film, but I still take videos of him on my phone. Look at his face. We catch, so a few little eyes. Oops. At the end of the hall, there is a grid. It feels like you are peering deep into the abyss, no less. Look. God, this is really so creepy.
I just have goosebumps from places like this. It's very stuffy and eerie here. It's really uncomfortable. Just, well, very uncomfortable.
The last tomb. We carefully looked at the ancient men. Let's see how women were meticulously buried. And we chose the deepest one. 150 meters down, can you imagine? A tomb. They said, be careful.
Well, this is certainly powerful. It's hard to wrap my head around the fact that all of this has been preserved to our times. This paint is still here. The paint, how many thousands years have passed? And we can see all of this with our own eyes.
How was all this done so long ago?
How did they even, in principle, manage to carve this out of a mountain? I mean, this is a mountain. And how did they manage to chisel this deep inside thousands of years ago? How? It must be that aliens came here with their technologies. How else can this be explained? I don't understand. Did they scrape it with shovels or something? This is just impossible. This is a full-fledged metro, you know. A metro that was built millennia ago, but is just missing the trains.
And a very big advantage of visiting such places independently is that you do not join an excursion group. Yes, you miss out on the historical part, some possibly interesting details, but in many locations, including the tombs, you are completely alone.
We descended to the very bottom, and here are two sarcophagi at the bottom. One is rectangular in shape, very voluminous, and inside there is a sarcophagus in the shape of a coffin, such a tomb. The climb up is quite a pleasure. My legs are sore, but this place is highly recommended for a visit, because it's just hard to comprehend everything in your head.
In short, the coolest thing is Ramses III. Everything there is in gold, colorful, and very beautiful.
And the colors have been preserved. Do you know why? Because the color is at the bottom. Sunlight does not reach there, and that is why the paint does not lose its properties. It remains on these walls for as long as possible. Well, there's just one final place left, dear friends. And finally, the cruise will finally commence. And of course, the entrance to this place, we have already arrived through this kind of tunnel market where everything is sold. But here, surprisingly, everyone just sits. Everyone simply sits and doesn't bother you. They are just shouting from a distance, you know. This is absolutely fine. I finally got myself some new glasses. In short, Gucci guys, yes, Gucci, original as they say. We started with 450 local ones. Well, I bargained down to 200, but it seems to me their real price is probably 100, if not 50. But they seem cool, they seem nice. The trains here are quite unique as well. We are heading to that temple, carved right into the mountain.
So, the Temple of Hatshepsut. Hatshepsut was one of the most famous women and one of the first female pharaohs of ancient Egypt. The year of construction of this temple is the 15th century BC.
When you are in such places, you can't help but truly imagine being transported thousands of years back to see how it all was then, how people really lived. But this can only be imagined in one's mind. The heat is intense. It's a complete disaster in the desert.
Ari Bakar. Oh, lovely living.
We are already heading back to our little boat. We still have a whole 2 hours left. This means we managed to visit Luxor in 5 hours. I want to tell you that Luxor is a tourist city. And here, for water, for Red Bull, for what you buy in the store, they charge some unimaginable prices. So water costs 10 and Red Bull costs 50. Many people recommended that we bring everything with us because the prices are like this here. We go in and take out our cards. And we check in again. Upsick is still not very happy because we only just spent approximately $100 to visit 3 temples, plus the car. We spent $100. Wow, that's amazing. They came in and made us this swan. With heart? Oh, look. Pupsick smiled. He came home. Now he will bury his face in the pillow. And then he will go fill his little belly. And also, friends, we managed to wash our laundry here. God, what a clean white shirt. Incredible. It's ironed. It was just a floor rag.
Well, finally, I thought this moment would never come. We stood here for more than a day, explored all of Luxor, and now we have finally set off. We have set off, and the cruise begins. The weather is nice and warm. So, welcome to the sunny upper deck, friends. Here, there are plenty of places to sunbathe. There are sun loungers and umbrellas available. But what surprised me the most is that there is a pool on this small ship, and even one jacuzzi. Right now, only 2 children are swimming in the pool. Usually kids are the most reckless, and they can swim even in icy water.
And at this very moment, right now, I will check.
Everything is clear, obvious, and good with her. Perhaps I will stay here and bask in the sun, and I will enjoy the beautiful views that pass by our deck. To be honest, I'm surprised by the number of these cruise ships along the river. They are all currently docked at the semi-shore, apparently due to a lack of tourists, and they seem to be melting away and not operating. However, their quantity indicates that this area of tourism is quite well developed here. I was there when there was no crown. I hope everything will be restored soon. There are just hundreds standing here. In short, I decided to shave it off like salmon. They say, shave off that rooster's tuft. Well, let's see what we do. Oh.
Oh, look here.
So guys, you asked for a new haircut, and here it is. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up and let us know in the comments below. It's absolutely fabulous, and we hope you love it as much as we do. I look forward to your reactions in the comments. If you liked it, I will always do it this way. Cruise, let's go. Lisa couldn't take it anymore. She said she wouldn't go out with me anywhere anymore. She said this is the only way to go out with you now. A hairstyle option from Lisa. Which one do you like more?
To be continued. And today we have a cocktail party before dinner. Cheers to you, friends. With this beautiful strawberry, I open today's dinner. The ship is moving to our next destination. Meanwhile, we are having dinner. Good morning, friends. All evening we were sailing on the Nile, and today we are in the city of Edfu. A carriage is already waiting for us here.
How nice it is to take a ride in a carriage with a breeze after breakfast. All the cities in the tourism circuit are quite pleasant and clean. So friends, the city of Edfu and the temple is also called Edfu. It is the second largest after the Karnak temple. And to be honest, I am already amazed by its beauty and the fact it has been preserved to our times.
The temple of Edfu is dedicated to the god Horus, who has the head of a falcon. His image can be seen on the gates at the entrance to the temple. The most interesting thing is that about 90% of the temple has been preserved. Religious aromatic oils were produced here. Their formulas can also be seen today on the walls of the rooms. We entered the temple. Pay attention to the ceiling. Previously, the temple was also buried under sand, but there remained a small opening through which people could walk on the sand. And monks lived here. And they lit a fire to keep warm. Because of this, the entire ceiling is black. Naturally, when the temple was found, they started digging out the sand. Everyone was driven out of here, but the ceiling remained black. There are such branches here, and you can go up to the second floor of the temple. All the walls are absolutely covered in hieroglyphs. It looks very beautiful, especially with the lighting and shadows. The walls are not protected in any way. You can touch history. Well, this is certainly amazing, because it is precisely due to such touches that the plaster gradually crumbles over time.
Yes, it's strange. The corridors are narrow. If there are a lot of people here, they will surely bump into these walls.
An incredibly beautiful temple with these hieroglyphs. We took a lot of photos. You must visit here. Very beautiful, unbelievably beautiful temple. I really liked it. Just look at how many carriages there are. You know, in Europe, they pick everyone up in taxis, but here they use carriages from the cruise liner.
see the scale of our huge cruise liner, friends. That's it. We're jumping back on board and heading to the next destination.
As always, we were given these cards to keep track of people. Each person receives a card. This way, they know how many people are currently missing on the ship.
And while we walk to the next place, as we make our way, we take with us Towel 1, Towel 2, and the relaxing ambiance of the Titanic, and head up to the upper deck, where a pool and a sunbathing area await us. The weather is gorgeous. We just left the pier. There are still some cruise ships around. In general, the atmosphere here is conducive to relaxation. It's warm and pleasant. The sun is shining. We're lying by the pool.
What I love most about Egypt and what I liked in the Emirates is that the sun shines every day. You see, in other countries like in Thailand or somewhere in Bali, we get stressed. You know, it can rain for a week, for example, and we need to shoot. Or you arrive at the hotel and it's raining and you can't film. Or there are some special excursions that need to be adjusted for good weather. But here you don't have to adjust anything. The sun is always shining. The sky is always clear.
I look at this person and I start to feel cold. It's just crazy. Do you know what the water is like? Oh my goodness, it's just like in a well. And now, friends, take a look at Lisa's swimsuit. It's new, fresh, and unspoiled. I really like it. Anyway, look, everyone is on the deck right now, and no one is swimming because the water is freezing, but I have to do it. Damn, my leg is cramping up. My leg is cramping up. It's impossible to stay here. Unbelievable. I can't even feel my toes anymore. Oh. 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 Oh my God. The water in Dubai was simply magical, Pupsum. Here, it's hard to breathe. It's freezing. When a person swims, I absolutely leave here. I definitely won't even swim here anymore. The little one is just so cute. It's really unbelievable.
Son, don't try to sweet talk me. Just tell me what you need right away.
I was walking from afar and I fell in love with you again. Such a cutie, really cool. The kids are great, fearless. They are sitting and swimming in icy water. Yes, I have certainly never seen this side of Egypt before. After all, Egypt is not just Sharm el-Sheikh, Hurghada, and 5-star hotels. This is also an amazing cruise. The beauty, the nature is just stunning. As you can see, there are many people who want to go on the cruise. If you happen to get bored here, friends, you can go to the nearest temple, scratch your leg like I did, and play with the flies. See, isn't that amusing? This is content, right?
We are currently sailing very close to the shores. The Nile here is so wide, and usually you can see houses and trees from a long distance. But here, it's really close.
Okay, but Grandma...
The lunch is magnificent, as always. I enjoy eating here every time I come. There are options for both vegetarians and meat lovers, so everyone can find something to their taste.
Yes, we are together.
The selection of food is limited in variety, but the dishes are extremely delicious. And now I can officially eat in a cap. You know why, right?
Be sure to polish everything in the profiterole.
Pupson, stop working. We have arrived at a new place. Are you uploading photos to Instagram for me?
For my little ones, I'm already posting the rats. You understand? Everyone has already seen it.
So right now, friends, subscribe to our Instagram account. Here it is, because everything is posted there in real time. No delays. And let's give a like for the mess. Does anyone else have the same mess? Let's charge up those likes. And if you haven't commented on my hairstyle yet, I'm waiting for your comment under the episode. Princess Jasmine is getting ready to go out. Take a look at her take.
I have a favorite game. It's called Assassin's Creed. And everything here is just like in that game. I am completely shocked at how well the game recreates what happens in reality. Right now we have a stop in Komombo. There is also an ancient temple here that has practically not survived. It has survived, but very little. And we don't need to go anywhere. We step off our little boat, cross the road, and immediately find ourselves at the temple.
Hey ladies, enjoy. Hey Gwanda, where are you? This small one, this big one, good, not too much. How much?
Good is definitely indeed.
In general, today we are traveling through Popson's favorite game. In the background, a cruise ship is waving us off, and here is the temple. This is all computer graphics, my friends, not real. If you don't get close, you won't see anything, friends. Take a look. I mean, all the walls of the temple, and the walls here are gigantic, enormous. All of this has been preserved. There isn't a single millimeter without some hieroglyph or some silhouette of a person or a god. Here are all the hieroglyphs. It would indeed be great to know what each and every one of them means. And here are the people who really know about this. Can you imagine? They sat down like this and then opened a newspaper and started reading the history of Egypt.
So, the Komombo Temple. Komombo means mountain of gold. That is, a mountain of gold. Gold was found here. And 200 kilometers away, there is still a place where gold is mined in Egypt. This temple is dedicated to two gods, which makes it so unique. Unfortunately, 90% of the temple was destroyed by flooding because the Nile is very close, and the temple was completely underwater for a long time. One of the gods is dedicated to Sebek. He has the head of a crocodile, and his image is almost on all the walls of the temple. And I told you that the temple was flooded. I'm not lying. Look at the columns. Half of the column looks as if it is wet. Until the 1970s, the temple was completely submerged. This is exactly the mark.
Notice the wall that isn't there. There should be a wall here, just like that wall over there. Look over there, just like that wall. But the government acted too late and halted the actions that allowed locals to build their homes in time. They came here when the temples were of no use to anyone, completely disregarded. They simply came, took all these stones, and used them to build their houses. Is this normal? And then they finally realized that they urgently need to save the temples. This is the history of Egypt. And that is why most of the temples are in a partially dismantled state. Otherwise, we might have seen them in their entirety. And again, if you look at the drawings on the ceiling, you can indeed see that they have preserved their color. At least something, right? Because the sun doesn't reach there, and the rest of the temple has already faded. Only in this temple can you see 48 various items that were used in operations in medicine. So far, I have only seen one, and realized that it is scissors. And if you recognized any items, these ones, right? You can write in the comments what you saw here. Here, there could have been more information about the history of those times. But unfortunately, even here, the locals, these are just cubes, you see. Cubes. They gathered everything in cubes. They took the cubes with them and built houses out of these cubes. And just imagine there are houses somewhere now, right? You walk inside and there will be patterns like this on the wall. Nobody knows about this. The guy just took the temple and made it his house. In general, all the temples are built from blocks. Once the block is in place, yes, there are more blocks above it. First, the temple was assembled, and then once it was completed, they carved the statues directly out of these blocks.
There is so much to talk about here. If you have a guide with you, they will tell you interesting stories. I liked one such story, for example. Here, it means slaves. The names of the cities are written on each plaque, and one hand is located behind. And notice the lion with a preserved leg. This is the leg of the king who is sitting on the throne. This means that at his feet lies a lion, which is eating the hand of one of the slaves as a punishment.
Next to the temple is a sacred burial site for crocodiles. That is, there were mummies of crocodiles here. Can you imagine? And just 10 years ago they were here, but due to the climate deteriorating, everything there started to rot and dry out. These crocodile mummies were taken to the museum.
Here are crocodiles. There is a special museum where they were brought. So, they are behind the glass. I can't film with a big camera, so I'm recording for you with a hidden camera on my phone. Wow. This little crocodile is 4 meters long, with more than 100 teeth. It has been lying here in this condition for 3,000 years. 3,000 years. Once again, Sonchik is in shock. Guys, this is just shocking content. These are mummified crocodiles. Mummified crocodiles. Once again, mummified crocodiles. They have forbidden me to shoot videos, so this is a hidden recording. Here is a crocodile. We are medicating the eyes. They are made from eggs.
Another temple has come to an end. We are boarding our liner, riverboat, again.
We watch the sunset and it's time to head to dinner. The last dinner on this ship, and tomorrow we wake up at 4:30 a.m. 4:30 a.m.
Today we have some unusual Eastern dinner because the entire restaurant has been cleared out and everyone has some kind of photograph on their table. Let's figure it out. Who do we have here? It indeed seems to be some Egyptian woman. Apparently famous. They are all different. I'm already drooling, friends. Look at how much there is. Everything looks so delicious. Everything is so vibrant. Both the decor and the selection are great. If only we could have this every day in Georgia, right? But this is only on the last evening. Our table looks so cool and appetizing.
The food on the ship is always tastier by a few percent. They will miss this dinner, breakfast, and lunch.
The soups are divine. Just like when we were on Royal Caribbean, there were always 2 soups to choose from. It's like that all the time here. Neither at lunch nor at dinner. I will also go to sleep. The cruise is great, but the schedule is very busy. I'm going to sleep, guys. Tomorrow is the last day. We are heading to a hard-to-reach temple. Oh my goodness. Asijan is tired. That's it. Turn off the light.
It's 4:30 in the morning. We are heading to the Abu Simbel temple. The road is long, and they have prepared breakfast for us. This is impressive. This bag probably weighs about 3 kilograms. The ship looks so beautiful lit up at night. We are traveling in our private car. Well, because there are only 2 of us Russians. And this is an excursion for an additional fee.
Dog, it's time for us to go. We stopped for some coffee and the dog fell in love with me. Do you see what he's doing? Do you see what they're doing? Egyptian dogs, they're really cool like this. All right, it's time for us to go. We have another 2 hours to our destination.
Well, welcome to the most inaccessible temple in Egypt. This is indeed truly Abu Simbel. He is already appearing there from behind the mountain. I am in anticipation.
We traveled here for 3.5 hours, exhausting, but it's worth it as behind me are 4 huge statues of Ramses II. They are just gigantic. But unfortunately, there are not actually 4, but only 3, because one of the 4 could not withstand the test of time and collapsed. We can see how there is a head and an enormous ear there.
I might say something shocking to you right now, but this rock is a modern construction, you see, because when they started building the dam, in 1960 they realized that if they built this dam, the Karnak temple would end up underwater. Thus, it was decided to move it 200 meters from its original location, 60 meters higher. Many different countries participated. The temple was cut into blocks weighing 20 tons each and relocated. And they built a rock around the temple to make it look beautiful, to make it stand out. This is how this temple came to be. But everyone says that the temple itself is real.
This is one of the most expensive temples for entrance fees. $255 local currency for one person to enter. We also spent $300 on a camera to film everything inside for you. If we hadn't paid, we wouldn't have filmed anything. Let's get likes. And we're heading inside the Karnak temple to see what interesting things are there.
Inside there are also 8 statues of Ramses, 4 on each side. They are huge, so we have 4 huge ones.
There is a remarkable phenomenon. Every year on February 22nd and October 22nd, a ray of sunlight comes from the door, so to speak. from the entrance and hits these 3 statues, illuminating them. Well, only 3, not 4. One was cut off since he has paradise there. It's the sun, and his name doesn't have any mura. They said, you will be without the sun, but these 3 will have a ray of light on them, and people from all over the world come to see this unique phenomenon. Next to the temple of Ramses is the temple of his wife Nefertari. It is of course smaller. And here are 6 sculptures, 4 Ramses and 2 Nefertaris. Well, just so that she could understand her place, he certainly loved himself very much. Reminds me of someone. At the entrance, they give out such keys, a symbol of life. I also have one with me. But if you don't have it and haven't bought it, you can definitely take a photo with it here. The temple for the wife is also quite small and absolutely simple. The columns are definitely standing, just one hall, no huge statues. He definitely reminds me of someone.
Guys, this temple is my favorite of all. Probably because you appreciate it more after the long journey, that's all. We are back. Picked up all our things from the ship. And now we are heading, you won't believe where, to the train station. Because we are currently on the train, we will be going to Luxor. In Luxor, we will take a bus. And then we will take the bus back to Hurghada. The guys are trying to fit a suitcase into the trunk. Actually, 2 suitcases. They are having a hard time doing it. And by the way, friends, here is the city of Aswan. I really liked it here. It's incredibly beautiful. Just look, and such sandy mountains, the desert, naturally the Nile River, and you can immediately see that where the Nile River is, everything is green, life is bustling. But as soon as you move further away, just a couple of 100 meters, that's it. Empty, dead land. And the only downside of this trip is that there is little time for the cities. Today we rushed around, showed the Karnak temple, spent half a day there, but we didn't show you the city itself. There are slums here, and old neighborhoods, districts. Look, they have already left me. They all went away. So, we are at the station, unloading now. Well, at least we'll ride the train by ourselves. It's not bad here. The station is clean. Quite nice, actually. I got out, yes, fresh, unspoiled. Now let's see what it's like inside the train. This is the Sapsan. It's not exactly the same level, but it's fine. Damn, for Egypt, it's cool that there are shelves for luggage and plenty of legroom. It turns out they have a luggage compartment. It's just locked. Now everyone will clean up, lock the door so that no one can take my suitcases. That's it, we have arrived. I settled into the chair, comfortable. Check out this thing at your feet. To lower it, you need to press the pedal, and then you can lower it. And by the way, this train and the return home are all included in the cost of the cruise. If you also enjoyed the cruise, friends, you can book the same one using the link in the description of this video.
Yes, the guys not only have cruises, but they also offer excursions from Hurghada. Everything was organized at the highest level, and we really enjoyed it. And I, as the organizer of various trips on my own, see how much effort they put in? They really did everything. I
had different expectations. I thought Egypt, a cruise, but in reality, they did everything. Really cool. And friends, make sure to hit the like button and leave comments. Right now, we have worked with Pop Snow. In other words, we have shown Egypt in our own way. And now we can arrive at any time of the year with peace of mind and check into an amazing hotel. And if someone says to us, ugh, the package tourists have arrived, well, you know what will happen to them. All right, let's see each other.